We're heading to Watkins Glen for the first of two visits this week in week number 2 of Season 3 2025. Our first visit, however, is going to see us in the Mazda MX5 for this week's Mazda Advanced Cup race. It's a full layout here at Watkins Glen, and I really enjoy this circuit, actually. It's quite challenging, and if you can stay close enough to the car in front, there's a nice toe down towards that bus stop chicane. Yeah, hopefully we can have a pretty good result. There are some pretty tricky long corners in this one, so you have to sort of get the line and the speed just right in a few places. But hopefully we can bring our A game and get a result. But I'm going to go off and do some practice, so I'll see all you guys on the grid. All right, so as you eagle-eyed viewers might notice, we're not sat in the rig. There was a problem with the recording. I think it's to do with Race Labs, or the previous version of Race Labs. So I just did a few tests now, and I know a few other people have been having issues, but I started recording, it was stuttering. I've updated Race Labs to the latest version, which is 6.6.0, and I've done some tests, and the recording seems stable. So maybe there was an issue with the last version of Race Labs, which they have now corrected. But anyway, yeah, we're going to take a look at the replay of the race here. And away we go from P12 on the grid. A couple of people got slow starts. But yeah, this was a really, really enjoyable race. I'm really a bit disappointed that the commentary didn't come through. We haven't got like the live footage, because I had an absolute blast in this one. There were some really good battles to come, and a massive twist at the end. So lap 1 up the hill, in the toe here of the number 13 we go, which is Andris, I believe. And I have to keep glance over to my left just here just to see my relative information. So he's gone to the inside, gone defensive. We're going to try and hang it around on the inside, leaving the space. But yeah, I don't want to push it too much with it being lap 1. Cold tyres, very easy to lose it there on the cold tyres. But yeah, let's say very enjoyable race this one. As we lose another position there, we try and hang it around the inside, but we brake massively early. Something I need to really tighten up on my racing and my racecraft, I think, is to actually extend my braking zones and learn to brake a little bit later in the heat of battle. So we try and get on the power nice and early, see if we can fight the 18 back, but nothing's happening, so we just tuck in behind at this moment. And get ready to enter the final stage of the lap here. Been working really hard this week when I've been in practice in various cars, just to try and teach myself to actually get on power a lot earlier, because I feel like it's a big flaw of mine in my driving, is I don't get on power early enough at apexes or after the apex. So we've all bunched up again here as we round the penultimate corner into the final corner. I don't want to put too much pressure on these guys. Don't think I want to launch one down into turn 1. But we've stayed out of trouble for this first lap at least. We crossed the line, and we're up to P11, so we've gained a position. As we think about going around the outside and then get a better run on exit from the 18. So we're going to try and get the draft here from the 13, but the 13 cuts the inside, and with the 18 being on the inside, we can't really get back into the draft. But I know he's going to come back across, so we can pick up almost like a secondary draft here, which we've done, and is able to get us ahead at this point. So obviously last time around the 13 went to the inside on lap 1, so we're going to have a go at the inside this time around. Leave the space at the apex, but he's already backed out of it, so we can claim the apexes for the rest of the chicane at the bus stop there, and round we go to continue on. So up to P10 now, or is that, sorry, P9. We've overtaken 2 cars. Let's see if we can catch Samuel in front. But the gap behind's only 0.3, so I've got to be very wary of the guys behind. Just looking for, like I said, getting on that power, getting a good turn in, trying not to force the car around so much with the steering. Really trying to work with the pedals a little bit more this week to try and get rotation out of the car that way instead. Just to try and get some more clean drives and exits.
Fucking hell, mate.
And yeah, that was Gareth and Gerwin, I think. They had a bit of a coming together. Sorry, Gerrit. So we get a little bit of a moment on the exit. But that promotes us up to P7.
Got to get it. I got to get it.
But we've got pressure behind from the 18.
You got to get it yours before I get it mine.
As Gareth still having a go there. I think Gareth was live streaming on Twitch at the time. So lap number 2, when we are up to P7 at this point. Not a great entry into turn 1 though. I'm going to go a little bit wide and take our first X of the race.
Just go. We need to catch your leader.
But yeah, at this point of the time, I'm thinking there is quite a train of cars behind. We're all quietly grouped together in the midfield here. So I'm thinking, you know what, if I can try and run with these 2 cars in front, I seem to be able to just in touching distance here of the draft. So maybe if I can keep with them, then potentially we can do something. But I can hear a car getting very close behind, so we cut off the inside line.
We have to get it.
And go a little bit.
Get it very well.
Deep through there.
It wasn't me, I was way behind. What the fuck are you talking about?
This conversation went on for a long time.
I know.
So apologies for that.
We're cool.
Turned a little bit too early and the car slid a little bit there on entry, so had to sort of back off the throttle and get back on it. And we go very, very wide. I think here I was looking to maybe open up the exit, but we went too wide, had to back off the throttle, and that's going to lose the position there to the 18 who's coming down our inside as we speak. We're side by side at this moment. Leave space on the inside, maybe a little bit too much space, I don't know, but we think about a little cutback here. But the 18 is a bit further ahead, so we actually go out quite wide. Thinking about another cutback, but this time we're not really as close, so position loss down to P8 now. And starting lap number 4 here.
Summit. Tra-la-lero-tra-la-la.
Just tucking nicely behind, but we don't really take the corner very well. We run a little bit wide. We are still in the draft, but we do have a car right behind us as well. And this is setting into the race now. This is where things really started to get quite interesting. Everyone, like I said, in the midfield is quite close together. And yeah, it seemed that every time we was going down to this bush stop chicane, there were people pretty much side by side. If we back off the throttle, we're not going to make an attempt here. Kind of blinded me a little bit to the turning. You'll notice that my turn, I hesitated a little bit before I turned in there. Kind of put me on the back foot a little bit here. But haven't really lost much time there to the car in front of the 18. I'm not going to try and pronounce the name. Really don't want to butcher it, and pronunciation isn't my strong forte. Isn't my strong forte? Isn't my forte. Sorry. So before the race started, as I always do, I'd done the practice laps and I'd got my average fuel usage per lap and I'd checked all the previous laps. So all the previous races ran for 14 laps. So my calculations were that 16.2 litres of fuel would see us to the end with about 0.3 litres left. So yeah, running pretty light here. And definitely we're still on course here to get it across the line. But we're just starting to drop off the back of the 18 here. Gap's a second, and we've got Enzo behind us now with 0.4 of a second. So, yeah, just got to be very wary here of what's going to happen. We might not get the draft up the hill, so getting a good exit from here is going to be vital. But again, we're just not getting that good exit out of turn one. We just seem to be sliding the front tyres a little bit too much, and we're now going to come under immense pressure here from Enzo on the run down to the bus stop. Car in front's got the draft of the car in front of him, who's got the draft in front of the car in front of him, and we're about the only one here that's not getting a tow. So I think I decided here not really worth fighting here. Going to let Enzo go to the inside as he comes past, so we're just going to give him the apex, tuck him behind, and we will carry on, which demotes us now to P9. Still up 3 places from where we started. We've got a much better exit there than Enzo, so we're going to have to go to the outside, but we get a massive moment on the entry to the corner. It's trying to carry too much speed in, and yeah, just drop back once again from the car in front. It's just seemingly a bit of a common theme here. I feel like if I could keep up with them and not lose the time to the cars in front, I could probably stick with them, and the tows would certainly help. But now we're coming under pressure from Adam behind as well. He's the next car in line to have a go. It's on the outside here, so we're going to go a little bit more defensive than we normally would, a bit more of a tighter line. We'll compromise our exit, but we managed to stay ahead at the minute. Just can't stress enough though how tightly packed this midfield battle was for the entirety of the race, and that's why I said it was such a fun race. I'm really a bit gutted that I've lost my original recording, my original footage of this. Lost a lot of those in the moment reactions, though. I think for a lot of it we were concentrating that hard on the battles. We probably weren't saying a lot as we... Adam looked down the inside there. We've got a better exit, but he's going to be right behind us here. We've actually got 2 cars 0.1 of a second behind, so it looks like we're going to actually probably be going 3 wide down here, down towards the bus stop. We're on the outside as the number 7's gone past us now. Is Adam going to make it as well? Well, I wasn't really sure where Adam was, but looking at that replay, he was miles behind us. So we've actually given up a lot of time there that we potentially didn't need to. So down now to P11, still 1 ahead of where we started. Got a bit of a buffer to the car behind now, so just not really need to really focus and see if we can stick with Adam and the car in front of him. Once again, I'm not going to try and pronounce that name. It's the number 7. Number 7 was blinking quite a lot in this one, so at times it was quite difficult to identify where he was on track. But just wanted to try and keep as close to the back of these guys as I could, I think, at this point. See the number 7 blinks there. He's gone extremely wide, so we're going to try and cut back in, but by doing so we've actually got a little bit of oversteer that we've had to correct. So we're actually now tucked behind Adam, so we're going to actually compromise him on the outside and go down the inside if we can, but we're not far enough alongside, and we let him go, tucking into the toe because I'm quite wary. We have a little wall tap. Quite wary that if we battle too much, we're going to drag the guys behind into this one, and you know, I really could do with some space behind. So the 3 of us into turn 1, once again separated by half a second, the 3 of us. But this time I'm at the back of the train. Just going to lift off a little tiny bit so that we don't take too much. Adam looks like he's going to go to the inside. 7's going to defend on the inside, and I'm just going to go down the middle. So we've got 3 wide here as we're past the 7, and trying to go past Adam here. I'm going to keep it plenty of room on the apex, but he's backed out of it. So double overtake there into that corner. Here I'm just not getting the good turn into that corner though. We're just sliding those fronts all the way across the track. But we're back ahead here, now looking to chase down Enzo, who is 4 seconds ahead while also trying to pull a bit of a gap. We're only got a half a second advantage to the car behind, car number 7. But back in P9. Not a great exit there. I had to delay throttle application, so lost quite a bit of time. Gap still half a second though, but only 0.9 back to Adam in P11. So it might be a case that there's a lot of chopping and changing coming up real soon. As we start lap 8, halfway through the race. Gap's still half a second, but Adam's dropped back a little bit here, so he's not going to be as much in the draft here as the in the number 7 as he might like. We've actually pulled and seem to be pulling a bit of a gap on the uphill here to the number 7, so we might actually get a clear rundown here at the bus stop for a change, rather than being under pressure. The gap is coming down a little bit, but not enough for the 7 to mount a charge, so let's concentrate on trying to get a good exit. But we've hit the curb quite badly there and got a terrible run through there. So we try to bring the car back towards the apex, mount the curb even more, and yeah, it's just not very smooth at all. The 7's going to go down the inside here, I think. Thinks better of it. We left the space, but he didn't go for the move, so we tighten our line on exit a little bit. But we've gone wide here. I've had to really delay the power onto there, so that's literally just opened the door, welcoming the number 7 straight in. No idea where he is. Appears in front of us. So yeah, it's really annoying when you get blinkers, of course. Adam is all over the back of us here. Once again, we're in the draft. At this point I was like, you know what, I'm not going to pull over to get your draft. I don't want to get too close to you into turn 1. So I'm just going to stay on my line, focus on my exit. But yeah, I got caught out a little bit by the 7. He was a little bit slow, probably because he had to come across back onto the racing line. So that's massively compromised me. Adam is right at the side of me here. So we're leaving space on the outside. The 7 here is weaving from one of us to the other, almost like giving us both a bit of draft from time to time. And yeah, a bit of a moment there. I thought there was a gap down the middle, so caught Adam. And thankfully 0x and we both managed to carry on as we go for an audacious lunge on the 7 and get the job done, I think.
Sorry about that, Adam.
No worries. That was a lot
just
of fun there.
That was just me saying sorry to Adam for the tap there. just misjudged how much gap there was between the two cars, unfortunately. And the 7 just blinks in front of us. So, yeah, lost one position there. To get out the throttle there, though, because the 7 sort of chopped us off a little bit, came across us. And as a result of getting out the throttle, we've lost another position there. And we've got Gareth right behind us, and I know Gareth is really fast. But he's pulled side by side, so there's not a lot we can do about this. You've got to give him the inside. Try and cut back. And he's opted to go inside again. So good driving there from Gareth, good little battle. But this midfield battle now is really intensifying. We're all so closely packed together here. Literally 2-3 seconds separates us all the way down to 16th, 9th to 16th. We're all on the same bit of tarmac here. The exit's not great, but I know given that we've got 4 cars in front of us here, we're going to get an almighty tow. And it's going to be very, very much a load of carnage down to the bus stop here.
Uh-oh.
So I go a little bit of a uh-oh here. Knowing full well carnage may ensue. I'm just going to decide actually, just going to drop back. There's no point in getting too much here as Gareth is a little bit slow there, but everybody manages to get through the bus stop cleanly. Corner outside, turn a bit more, and it's given us a bit of a moment on the exit. So we've actually lost another position, all the way down to 14th now. And once again, for 2 laps in succession, just can't get on the power early enough here. We're just trapped behind a car. I mean, it's probably on me for bad positioning in my car more than anything else, and it's nothing the car in front of us done wrong. But yeah, I was a bit like annoyed that 2 laps in the trot now here we'd unfortunately been pinched behind another car and wasn't able to get a good exit, but we dive it down the inside. Can we make this stick? He's still on our inside here, so we're going to try and do a cut back. Definitely got a good exit, better exit than Danielle got there, so we're going to force him to the outside. He backs out of it, gives us the inside, and we reclaim that position back up to P13. Now chasing Philip down, but still a good train of cars here in front. But I said a while ago that about how I wanted to try and catch up to that other group of cars and run away with them, and this would have kind of avoided this whole kind of gaggle of cars here, because the more we're clustered together, the more we're all fighting to get a massive sliding moment on turn 1. And the more we're clustered together, the more we're going to fight, the more we're going to lose time, and the more it's just going to keep happening lap after lap. So yeah, I was a bit annoyed with myself that I couldn't break away with those other guys, as Gerrit's now coming down the side of us here. Had a little look down the inside and then thought better of it. Gives us a little bump to help us catch up to the cars behind. Not the greatest of bus stops. So Garrett goes for a move down the inside. We hold the outside line, so we're still ahead at the moment as we take the inside. Get slowed down early enough, get on power as early as we can. Garrett's looking for another move here down the inside into the next corner. We'll leave the space. We would have gone for the cutback, but I just went way too wide. And that's put Garrett up to P14.
Mate.
There's an incident in front here.
You fucking retard!
And the 15 is in the middle of the track, and I think what happened is he didn't hold the brake as Enzo went through, and Enzo just caught him. So, yeah, we've gained another position now up to P13. Although Enzo's on the radio complaining, he did manage to continue, so it's not all doom and gloom. As we cross the line here to start lap number 12. And just see that you have to ignore the session timer on the screen, guys. It's a little bit out. I think it must have included the countdown before the start of the race as Garrett takes audacious track limit there. But at this point, we've got about 6 minutes left to run, and I'm thinking, well, that's 3 laps, right? Have we got enough time? And the leader's actually running in the 206s, 207s.
Great run through there, Philip.
And I'm starting to get a little bit nervous at this point that we're actually going to run further than 14 laps, in which case we're going to need to box for fuel. We're not going to have enough fuel by about 0.5 of a lap to finish this race. So, yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit panicky and a little bit nervous at this point that we're not going to have enough fuel. But like I said, I'd done my research. I'd looked at the previous races, and all the previous races that had run were 14 laps. Done my calculations as Garrett goes a little bit wrong there. So we get past Garrett, back up to P12 where we started this race from. But yeah, I've done all my research, done my calculations of 1.14 laps at 14 laps was about 15.9 litres of fuel, so I knew 16.2 was going to be enough. But a little bit of worry has now crept into my mind that it's not going to be enough, so I'm thinking, even if I try and fuel save at this point, I don't think I'm going to have enough fuel, enough time to fuel save enough before the end of the race. So I'm just trying to gauge it, like looking at when the leaders cross the line. I'm getting a few calls from crew chief telling me the leaders' lap time, so I know when the leaders cross the line and there's about 4 minutes 10 left on the clock, and I get that message that it's going to be touch and go. If he's doing 206s or even quicker, I don't know. So hopefully there's only 2 laps to run here. As you see, the gap to the guys in front has really stretched out here, because I'm just so conscious now about not having enough fuel to the end of the race. It's really kind of affected the way I'm driving. It's got in my head, it's really annoyed me. But not a lot we can do at this point.
Tranquillo, è normale incazzarsi, mi è venuto naturale.
Sì, vai tranquillo.
We made the decision and we got to run with it. As we start thinking about short shifting now. But there's been a bit of a squabble up front. So Adam has now dropped to the back of the pack. But we're a lot closer than we were at the start of this lap. 1.4 is the gap to Adam as we get another spinner there. And that's Philip gone. So we're now up to P11. We've got Enzo and Gareth have both gone through. So I'm back now battling with Adam and the number 7 like we were earlier on in this race. And it's really hard in this position because you're thinking to yourself, I haven't got enough fuel, I need to fuel save potentially. But you're also thinking they're just there, and if I just push a little bit more, I could potentially get in the draft and maybe we can save some fuel that way. So what do? Do you push? Do you hold back? It's such a difficult decision mentally. But I think it was at this point I was thinking, right, come on. If this isn't a white flag lap, then we are in serious trouble. And as we come around the final corner here, it is not the white flag lap. So yeah, we're going to have to box at the end of this lap for fuel. And unfortunately with the Mazdas, the MX5, it seems like you have to fuel in chunks of 3.8 litres, so the minimum I can take is 3.8, despite the fact all I need is about 0.6 of a litre. So, yeah, heartbreaking really. Yeah, we've not made massive strides in this race, but I felt like the battling in the midfield, it was such a fun race, this one. I really enjoyed it. Only to be heartbroken by the fact we've had somebody really quick at the front of the field who's stretched that lap time out to 15 laps. I've even checked all of the race that have run between me running this and me re-recording this footage here, and again they've all ran 14 laps. Just this one race that I was in at this time, we got caught out. So maybe a lesson to be learned there in the future is to maybe always fuel for one extra lap, look for 15 and over fuel in these races. We've got Garrett closing us behind. I know how racy Garrett looks, how aggressive he is sometimes from what I've seen in this race so far, so we're going to leave him a little message in a minute just to say, you know what, Garrett, hold back because I'm going to be boxing. I'm sure we do that in a couple of corners time, just so he doesn't go for any silly moves. There's no point in him attacking. So just let me run my best line. Best chance not to hold him up.
Garrett, I'm boxing, mate, so don't push too hard.
He's the one who piped me off early.
So, yeah, really heartbreaking, really unfortunate from my point of view that we've got to take the box here. As we come into the box, slow it down.
Gael, you're having internet connection problem, bro. You are disappearing in my cam. Watch out.
Yeah, so we've taken off the margin of the extra lap of fuel as we drop all the way now down to P15, P16 maybe even. So we come into the box for the fuel and we mess it up, we go too far, so we have to go back a little bit, and then we realise we didn't untick tyres as the front of the car goes up. So again, absolutely gutted. Quickly turn the tyres off so we don't get new ones on the other side. All flustered because I haven't got it in gear. It's just a whole comedy of errors at the end of this race. Really, really unfortunate. And yeah, so we dropped down to P16. 20 seconds almost off P15. So we know we're not really going to get anything else from this one. And what's more is we come out on semi-cold tyres as well because of that, not unticking the tyres. So yeah, real comedy of errors at the end of this one, unfortunately. Wasn't really much to say other than that. I just felt really dejected. But you know what? We all make mistakes. It's racing. And you learn from your mistakes, hopefully. It's just the only thing you can do when it comes to these sorts of moments. As we completely forget the fact we're on cold tyres, try to catch it and mess it up even more and make a right hash of this. Trying to recover. An absolute hash of the recovery. I don't even want to watch this. Is that disappointing? So yeah, that was basically the race, guys. We came home in P16, I think it was in the end. There's some people.
Yeah, good man.
Maybe P15, I'm not sure. I think P16 is actually retired. So yeah, we come home in this one, P15. Just lessons to be learned, like I said, as we come around the final part of this. Just really struggling on those cold left-hand tyres. Just never went through my head to, you know, clear fuel and tyres. And it's something I always used to do on iRacing. I've got a button mapped on my Steam Deck to clear them both, and just I don't know, just recently I've just gotten out of the habit. I don't know if it's since I've not been racing series that have, or I've raced more series that don't have fast repairs. I'm just thinking, well, I don't need it because if I box for repairs I'm going to be sat there for a while. But I should really get back in the habit of turning off or pressing that button to turn everything off before a race starts. So I have to try and leave myself a post-it on my monitor or something next time I start up. But around the final corner, on lap 15, that shouldn't have happened, to take P15 in this one. So yeah, that was the race. Let's go and check out the results. This was split 1 of 2, and the strength of field was 2,132. We were car number 10, started 12th, and we actually finished P14, not P15. Our fastest lap of the race was a 209.290. Fastest lap of the race for Sven, who really was pushing the pace there, was a 206.828, so 2.4 seconds slower than the fastest lap. But just look at that average lap time, almost 2 seconds quicker a lap than P2. So yeah, no surprise there why it actually got pushed on for an extra lap. Looking at that pace, we had 6 instant points and take 35 points in the championship, and it was a double red result, losing 0.18 on our safety rating, taking us to 4.1, and losing 35 iRating takes to 1,927. So there we go, guys. That was the race. And yeah, I think with being a post commentary, I've pretty much summed up everything I probably wanted to talk about in this one. Just felt it's really unfortunate we had somebody that was that fast in the race that pushed it that extra lap. We could have gained the position. I think even in P11, we would have still lost a bit of iRating, but it would have been marginal. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Like I said, every single race before and after this one has been 14 laps, but that guy just pushed the pace a little bit more and took it to 15 laps. So yeah, just really unfortunate to be in that situation, but lesson learned maybe in the future that if it really is that tight on fuel, maybe we should just put an extra 3.8 litres in the car to make sure we have enough to see us across the line. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please consider giving it a like. And if you want to see more racing from me, make sure to subscribe because there'll be plenty more coming real soon. If you want to get involved with the action iRacing, head down to the description where's the link, and hopefully I'll see you on track real soon. But all that's left for me to say is thank you very much for watching, and until next time, see ya.